What if in the near future you couldn't actually use your Amazon Visa card to purchase products on Amazon? What would that world look like? Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur. Thank you for joining my channel, and we are talking about my good old buddies Amazon. Although I can't necessarily make claims that Lex Luthor is running the place anymore because he has since retired to shoot himself across the moon or something like that. Apparently that's what the richest man in the world does. He doesn't solve world hunger, he flings himself to the moon. Anyway, that's kind of a side tangent. So I read a story today, or really I read it yesterday, and it was kind of odd. It announced that Amazon in the UK would no longer be accepting Visa cards for payment. Now, the reason they claim that they are no longer doing this is because they say that the transaction fees are too high. Now, within 24 hours, instantly MasterCard became a huge search topic on Google and Bing and all those various websites out there. And it started bringing people into question like, well, why would Amazon do this? Why would Amazon not accept Visa payments? I mean, Visa is arguably the biggest credit card company in the world, them or MasterCard. My personal card of choice is American Express, but you know that. So what is really going on? And I'm going to share my thoughts on what I think is actually boiling underneath the surface. But before we do, I would like to ask that if you are a new viewer here and you happen to like these sorts of topics, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and smash that like. We upload videos every week, sometimes up to 3 times a week. And hey, also leave a comment below about future topics you would potentially want to hear about on this channel. So let's talk about Amazon. Now, I have made it very, very clear that I loathe Amazon. I hate this company, capital H-A-T-E. I hate Amazon more than Dr. Robotnik hates that darn hedgehog.
I hate that hedgehog!
I just think Amazon is a crappy company all around. Not through their service. Their service is actually really good. If you're a customer and you don't actually read about Amazon, Amazon's probably a great company. But when you know how they operate, you can't help but look at everything Amazon does with disdain and suspicion. And when I read this strange article that Amazon in the UK would no longer be accepting Visa as a payment method, I thought that was a little odd for a couple of reasons. First of all, as mentioned before, Visa is probably the #1 credit card company in the world. If not, they are very close to it. And the thing is, you don't want to say we're not going to accept the #1 or #2 or even the #3 biggest credit card company in the world. You don't want to do that. That's not good for business on the surface. If you want to say, hey, we're no longer going to accept Discover card, okay, what are they, 5, 6? I love my Discover, don't get me wrong, but geez, that's not missing out on a whole lot. If someone has a Discover, they're probably also going to have a Visa or MasterCard. But here's the thing. If you have a credit card, chances are one of them is a Visa. I actually don't know a single person who doesn't have a Visa. The second reason this is kind of a strange announcement to make is that Amazon is in partnership with Chase Bank for their Amazon Visa card, and as a result, there is an Amazon card that is Visa. Now, I don't know if this card is available in the UK. It is in the US. I don't know if Amazon has a card in the UK. In all fairness, maybe I should actually look it up real quick. Okay, so I'm back and I verified in the UK, Amazon does have a co-branded card, but it is not with Visa, it is with MasterCard. Now, that does kind of change a little bit of thinking, but I don't think it changes it that much. So here's the thing. Okay, so Amazon's official co-brand partner in America is Visa through Chase. Over in the UK, it's with MasterCard. Now, here's the thing. Amazon states that the credit card fees are what's doing them in. That's why they're getting rid of Visa. And the thing is, some people might say, well, that's just a UK thing. It's not going to affect America. But here's the thing. I think Amazon's making this a very public showdown for a reason. Because Amazon is not above basically pitting the public against companies to get their way. They always do it under the guise of we're going to help the consumers, we're going to pass the savings on to them, and of course, who knows if that's actually true. But example number one would be their battle with Hachette Books. Basically, they launched an all-out war with Hachette Books, basically refusing to carry their stock, and Amazon is the #1 bookseller in the world. They count for 50% of the book sales, and basically their whole argument was that they wanted to pay Hachette a certain amount so that for the customer, they can keep the books at $10 or less. Now, from the customer's perspective, that's great. They're fighting for us. I don't want to pay more for ebooks, but from Hachette's point of view, you know what? There's a lot of different kinds of books, and it's very different from one person who writes a children's book to someone who writes a cookbook to someone who writes the next great American novel. The second thing I would like to point out is that when Amazon announced that they were going to be doing a second headquarters, they made it a public spectacle, like, we don't know where we're going to go. We don't know where we're going to go with our second headquarters. And they had states and cities bending over backwards, literally sticking their butt in the air and saying, do what you want with me, Amazon, just build your headquarters here. And then we found out that, yeah, they had always intended to go to New York City. They just made a public spectacle so that they could get lower taxes and a lot of incentives. So this is not Amazon's first rodeo. Now, I remember rumors from a year or two ago that Amazon was having some issues with Chase. And their primary issue with Chase Bank is Chase's 524 rule. Now, that has been explained ad nauseum on this channel, but just because this might be your first time for some of you, basically the 524 rule is that if you open 5 accounts or more within 24 months, Chase will not give you a credit card. They just will not do it. And that makes Chase credit cards harder to get in some respects. And Chase does it to basically prevent churn. But there's a problem with that from Amazon's perspective, because Amazon wants these cards in the everyday person's wallet. And if that person has opened up too much credit, they're not going to get an Amazon branded credit card because Chase issues it and they have this 524 rule. And Amazon has had issues with this rule for a while, and there have been rumors that they might be wanting to distance themselves from Chase. And sure enough, now a year or so later, Amazon is making a very, very public stink on the internet and in the media that they will be phasing out Visa credit cards in the UK. Now, what does that have to do with Amazon in the US? Well, Visa has made it absolutely clear that they will be increasing their fees next year. I think MasterCard is also doing that, and so is American Express. I think it's kind of a across-the-board thing. But here's the thing. Amazon is unhappy with their current card to a certain extent. They want it to be in more people's hands. They want people maybe with more subpar credit to get these cards, and they are not happy with their partners. So what are they going to do? They're going to make a big stink about it in the UK, where their co-branded card is with MasterCard. They're going to show through Google and Facebook and everything that searches for MasterCard increase by 1,000% or whatever it is, because people who don't have a MasterCard now all of a sudden need to get a MasterCard if they want to buy from Amazon. Now, what that means in America is, like, Amazon has just shown a bold move that basically, we're Amazon. We are not afraid that you are the #1 credit card company in the world. Maybe #2. I'm still a little murky on that one. We will cut you off if we think your fees are too high. They will be using this, I guarantee you, as a bargaining chip when it comes to renewing their license deal. They're going to go up to Chase and Visa and they're going to say, look, we just turned you off in the UK. We could very easily become like Costco, where Costco has only one company that they deal with. In this case, that is Visa. And we are going to negotiate better terms. The, Chase card that Amazon makes, that's not going to fall under 524. That's going to be anyone can get the card regardless how many credit cards they've opened. And by the way, that 700 FICO score you're requiring, screw that. Apple accepts as low as 600. Do that. And by the way, Apple's MasterCard. So they're going to go in and they're going to use this negotiating tactic. I call it negotiating tactic, but it's really not. It's a bullying tactic. It's them throwing their size at another company, showing that they're Amazon, they can do whatever they want, and they're going to demand better terms. And by the way, if you don't want to play, we will simply stop accepting the card here, and we will go to MasterCard or American Express or, heck, maybe even Discover. You never really know. All right, one little addition. As I was editing this, apparently Amazon is looking to terminate their relationship with Visa, or at the very least, renegotiate their contract. Visa has responded. They basically blame Amazon for being predatory and a slick negotiator. Actually, not even a slick negotiator, a shrewd negotiator. I will have the quote in front of me for our next video because I will be doing a follow-up, but I wanted to add that so that I didn't get a bunch of comments from people saying that it looks like this is what Amazon is in fact doing. All right, back to the video. Now, how is this going to affect me? Not at all. This will not affect me at all because I don't shop at Amazon. But it is just yet another example of Amazon using their bullying tactics to get what they want. Now, in some cases, you might be saying, well, this seems like a first world problem. I've got MasterCard, I've got American Express, but it's just the principle of the matter that Amazon just feels they can go up to any company they want and they can just say, hey, you know what, you're going to do what we want to do, or we're just going to cut you out. And by the way, as an investor for Visa, my Visa stock went down today based on this Amazon news. I'm not going to sell my stock because it's going to recover just fine. But I just think this is absolutely ridiculous that this company is doing it again. And they succeed every single time because they're just so big. Who can really argue with them at this point? So I don't know. I mean, I have heard rumors that this is also because Amazon not only wants to renegotiate their contract with Chase, but whoever they build a new relationship with, they might be big enough to say, hey, you know what? If Amazon is the exclusive card of MasterCard or American Express, you know, lower the fees to this and you can be the exclusive card. You know what, MasterCard? Amazon can be yours. #1 site in the world. Well, maybe not. I think #1 is Google, but the #2 site in the world, you know, it can be yours. And that's really bad for consumers. Granted, I'm actually kind of okay with it if it will push people away from shopping at Amazon. And you can see that the other retailers would have like a field day with this. Can you imagine Target coming up and saying Visa, MasterCard, American Express, it doesn't matter what club you're joining, you're all welcome to shop at Target.com. I could see something like that easily happening. On the other hand, Amazon has a way of getting what they want and using these bullying tactics, and I just think this is another one, and so that's why I wanted to comment on it. But anyway, I would like to pass the question on to you. What do you think of this news? If Amazon banned Visa in America, would you not shop there anymore? Would you find somewhere else to shop? And what about in the UK? What if you are a UK viewer and all you have is Visa and Amazon is now out of your reach? Does this mean you officially cease to be an Amazon customer? I would love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.